What's good, everybody? My name is Bandito, and welcome back to the channel. So as you see, this is a special episode for this week. I was hoping I could make a live episode this week, but of course, for unforeseen circumstances with school and stuff like that, I wasn't really able to do so. So that's kind of on me for that circumstance. But besides that, we're facing off against a rematch. Against shadowgallade and the Carolina Taurus Heels. My name's spit out from the Carolina Tar Heels from NCAA basketball and stuff. But besides that, this is a rematch against them from week number 5 with the UNPL Academy. So yeah, shout out to that. Shout out to whoever it is who controversy and all that stuff. But besides that and everything, they have a super scary team compared to the last time we played against them. They have Magirna, they have Palkia, they have Weavile, they have Deoxys Speed, they have Terra Ursaluna and Terra Synergia, and of course Cinccino or Corio. Give me all the forms and Eevee. But yeah, besides that, so I decided to bring out my team, show out to play, and my entire idea was I want to break this entire team down as fast as I can. So I decided to bring in Iron Crown, Klefki for screens, Lando, and of course, Vol. The whole premise is top 6 without Glimora. Glimora replaces with Klefki. That's the main premise of it stuff. But besides that, I know their fear was Terrazaru, which I decided to go steal this time, which is kind of the thing. Not hiding that information because I already told them. But yeah, so this is going to be a little quicker video because, this is kind of post-com. I had some issues with my little siblings or whatever. Shouts out to them. But if it wasn't for them, then, I mean, I would have not been live. It would have been more live than post-com. But let's get to the game. All right, I should have seen the game. We have our team set up and everything, and you see the items. But I want to shout out two mockers and creators to help me out with that team. Of course, I shout out Mudkip Fan or Kippy to help me out with the team building, especially with the set you're going to see with the diet type method, and of course Saki Dude for testing out the team for me to help me out with all that stuff. So I want to shout out them both. They're the goddamn goats. I appreciate them for all the help they have done for me. So let's get into the game. Let's have some fun. Good luck and have fun with shadowgallade as they are preparing their stuff. But yeah, so the diet type method is called use out all out offense, and let them find and don't let them pick up the pieces before it happens. That's the big main method. That's how I get absolutely obliterated, and that's how they get obliterated as well. But yeah, that's kind of how it is. But as you see, they're waiting their stuff and cut because I had a bunch of stuff for my baby brothers. Because that's why it's post-com, because baby brothers were there. And I was waiting a little while probably to handle my baby brothers because they're all cheering and whatever. I mean, I love them to death. I wish they could be my videos more often. But I realized they're not only very young, they're minors and stuff. And not that I don't want minors or whatever. I care about anybody. It's just, I know that them hearing, speaking out their voice or whatever. I mean, I'm not comfortable with my baby brothers because I don't want to exploit. I don't want to have them out like that in the world when I know they make their own stuff, and I don't want them to be like, "Oh yeah, this, and this happened." So those kind of thing. But as you see, we go for the agility, and at that, it was the Deoxys Speed switch in from the Brother Bear lead, and look at that. And of course, we went for the greedy Calm Mind, which was a punish because, of course, we are punished from our own greed, getting that Calm Mind on the Thunder Wave. So we force ourselves to get to another agility to waste more time on our setup and everything, and a risk of paralysis. But it works out in our favor as they swap from their Deoxys Speed. And you know what? It'd be better if I do this. Or Corio came out. This agility out, because that's kind of the scary thing is I do not want to risk that. That's kind of a big thing because I want to outspeed Deoxys with Iron Crown. That's a big thing, and I decided to go for a second Calm Mind, thinking that, hey, I could have done this and this. What I should have done was the idea of going for Psyshock on the first turn, because I did not want to risk myself. Or Tachyon Cutter in the first turn, so they could prevent from Quiver Dance. That could have been the play, but I mean, I was so into myself and I was so into being arrogant and everything because they were kind of like, "Oh, I'm gonna beat you up. I'm gonna do this," and I'm like, I'm not trying to say that. I'm trying to say like I'm trying to do this to the Gen bot because, of course, I've been always having trouble with the Gen bots and, of course, Scarlet and Violet servers or whatever that they have it. But look, they got the Psyshock that makes Iron Crown's first KO of the game. And as you see in the game right there, Iron Crown is definitely the Pokemon in the thumbnail. Surprise, surprise. Iron Crown's a dominant Pokemon for some stupid reason. Not no stupid reason, but I'm just saying it's a dominant Pokemon that nobody really expects because last time I did Iron Crown in the thumbnail, it was like, oh, it glitched out because Iron Crown did this. But yeah, it would have been a Zacian game if I'll be honest with myself. But as you see, they went for Wrongs, which is their Magearna. So I went, you know what? Tachyon Cutter is my best move. I'm kind of +2/+2. And of course, get the crit. I'm sorry about that, Gallade. It's not really you. It's more me having to deal with the fact. Oh yeah, but I was looking the paras. I was looking at this. I'm guessing they're praying for me to not have that. So yeah, as they do that, Wrongs got out and they went to their Tom Brady. Knowing Tom Brady, this is probably and knowing Tom Brady is their nickname right here. I know they're a Patriots fan. I don't know if they're a Drake May fan. I don't know if they're current Patriots fan or they're kind of one of those, you know, Tom Brady, Bill Belichick type fans, like one of those like bandwagon stuff. But I did get paralysis, unfortunately, and as you see, we have ourselves an Iron Crown get hit by the Earth Power. I thought I died, but I barely took a chunk, and then boom, weakness policy comes out. Pop it out, and then I thought, you know what, it's better for me to side shock still. And I did that, boom, pop it out, and it was a KO on the Palkia, +4. So that's the entire idea. Like, you know what? I need to get the Palkia out of the way, and I can win this game. So that was the main idea. That Palkia knock me out, and then finish the game like that. But they go Weavile, which is a cheap 10. I'm guessing this is probably the kind of a Kansas City Chiefs type deal, or something like that, Native American related. But I didn't really mind it. And of course, from all the crits and everything from the Magearna, I got crit. I got crit. I got literally bodied, and I got the crit from that. So it was kind of karma from the Magearna. I earned it. Right? Nothing deserved the crit and the para. So kind of that. But besides that and everything, we went to go to our beautiful Volcanion because Volcanion is going to be something absolutely amazing. So I have that. I'm going to go to this. And I thought, you know what? We just cannot hit the Volcanion except for knockoff and stuff. I decided to go Flamethrower. I was considering the swap, but I'm like, you know what? I'm not risking it. I mean, just good is always a good opportunity to get damage off with Flamethrower. So I did that. Of course, they swapped out the cheap 10, and they decided to go to a surprising thing and went to Deoxys. So I got damage on the Deoxys, so having that front was super, super scary. So having Deoxys get the pit, and I'm like, you know what? I'm going to swap to Klefki because that's probably my best move. Having Klefki out, having Klefki to do all that stuff. So I thought, you know what? That'll be my best move. I decided to go to, Klefki like this. And of course, Thunderwave happened. So I'm glad I got that so I don't get paralyzed on my other mons. Though it was a risky maneuver from that front. So there it is. Bada bing, bada boom. So I decided to go into. It was like, do I want to go to Volcanion? Do I want to go this? And I thought the best option I would have done was try to reflect and try to reflect because all the rest of their mons are physical, which is Ursaluna and Weavile. You went Spike Up, which is true. Excuse me on that. Where it went Spike Up for hazard control. I thought, I decided to get the Thunder Wave off and have that through at least. Hiccuping and everything all over for some reason. And as you see, they get paralysis on that front, which is kind of embarrassing to them. So I went Foul Blade, which Gallade, I am so sorry for the second paralysis. I'm guessing that crit and the para was the thing, and the first para is from the but we do get an undeserved crit on the Rocky Helmet, which was their item, and that's how they get knocked out. So they were not Colbur Berry, so get knocked out. So that was a very good thing that we learned. We revealed an item and we barely revealed 2 moves. Well, 3 moves in fact, but kind of didn't care. Of course, having the move set, having that. So we thought, you know what? This Pokemon's gonna have long rush. I'm gonna swap out and not risk myself getting that out of here. So yeah, but it's like basically 12:53 in the morning. It's tiring, but we should see. Go for Y, which is their commando. And when intimidate, dropping their attack more. So it's reflect, drop attack, and of course the long rush not being affected. So basically is that mana burn. So it's unfortunate for Shadow having so minimal attack, and of course having that through. So that, you know what, I could chip this down this thing, and I won't be able to. I won't be letting them get revealing any more stuff, rather than revealing Terra Normal Facade, which is basically the obvious move because they said they were Terra Normal. So that was the entire idea. They revealed Terra Normal, have that coming through, and boom, First Luna comes in. So have that coming through. Of course, an Earthquake doing some damage. I didn't really mind. It's still neutral damage, and it did about, say, 28 to 30, 25 to 30%. So I had that. So I get absolutely obliterated by that, and it disappeared somehow. So, of course, Rocky Helmet doing about that to about 50%, and then getting hit by the burn, which gives it right below 50, 45% mark. And I thought, you know what? I'm forced to reveal one last Pokemon. I mean, rather than, of course, the foul play Klefki, the best mind to just not reveal anything is, of course, the Zacian. In case they Swords Dance, so I don't lose the game. So I thought, you know what? I'm going to Sacred Sword. That's my best move. And of course, being normal type, super effective. Knocked out the Brother Bear. Goodbye to Ursaluna. My best thing is coming up for the following game. They will probably try to go for Terra Poison on either Sinistcha or into Ursaluna because they do not want to deal with Sacred Sword Zacian. Of course, that's probably the big issue. So having that. So I know I'm going to go for another Sacred Sword to finish off the game. And boom, knock out the Weavile, unfortunately. So that's kind of how it is. We do win against shadowgallade 4-0 in the KCDL week number 8. But yeah, no, this is super scary on that front. But I'm happy that Shadow is a great opponent and stuff. And, I'm going to pause it off right here. But yeah, Shadow is a great opponent, even though that he made a few I mean, there's nothing he could really do in this matchup. He led a little bit incorrectly. I say so myself. He could probably admit that he led incorrectly, but he had a bunch of stuff going on, and I had a bunch of stuff going on. So the best leads I could have judged it out for him is he led Dio for the same thing like he thought of last time, which was kind of Thunder Wave and all that stuff to lead into Oricorio, like I thought. And then the other Mon idea that I had, rather than Oricorio and stuff, was leading into Weavile, but I had a game plan based around that. So it was kind of a lose-lose for Shadow where I could absolutely obliterate him in multiple swap-ins. So that's kind of where it's like he was kind of screwed on both ends. But yeah, I'm in off right here, y'all. Y'all stay safe. Y'all have a nice one. I hope y'all have an amazing rest of y'all weekend. And Bandito out. See y'all Monday. And one more announcement before this. I know school's been kicking my ass, but planning up for the end of the week, I decided, you know what? Since my friend Skin B was like, you know what? It's going to be closer around the end of the month or whatever, around this time. So I thought it'd be okay to get an idea where instead of, say, playoffs, playoffs round 1 is taking their break. So playoffs round 1 is taking their break. So we have a week and whatever to fully prepare and everything, rather than having the 7th and 8th seed, both 8 seeds in our division. That's the main reason. Both 8 seeds in our division are playing to the final playoff bracket for the 8th seed. But finalizing that stuff and everything, we are facing off against shadowgallade again in playoffs. But that's the main reason why we're kind of situating ourselves. And I know it's kind of spoiler, whatever. But that's the main thing. We're waiting about a full week after this week and everything. So there'll be a new Fix It Pokemon whenever it comes out for this video the following week after this week. So basically next weekend we'll be posting another Fix It Pokemon. But we're going to have 3 different videos for say that week. So stay tuned for that. That's more content for y'all. Won't be for that. I mean, rather than skipping Saturdays and Sundays. So hopefully y'all stay safe, y'all. Once again, y'all have a nice one, and Bandito out.